Hello everybody, my name is Rev, but you can also call me David, and welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Last time, we already got ahead and started our journey here, and we made it here to old Sharlayan. This time, we're going to speak with Cryle and see what we have to do from there. Anyway, I finally learned how to turn off the UI, so we actually have something nice to look forward to when we actually, do our episode introductions. Okay, let's go on and speak to Cryle. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into the port. The officers are born and bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. Okay, I'm kind of here for the quest completion music. I'm here for it. Cutscene time? Cutscene time. Oh wait, it's one of these cutscenes. Okay. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Vinder's and Istinian's first time in Sharlayan, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit, and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that way you may have all the sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at the Balducian Annex. How does that sound? This is a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Levier estate as such, but I would like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I still feel so bad for both Alphino and Alize for getting disowned like right at the end of patch 5.5. I am... Oh, whoops. So I'm going to pass up an opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. That is the one problem of having auto-scroll on. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was the rest of the Aetherite Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. I wonder what we're gonna do, because like I said, a lot of the people here have their own reasons for being here and everything. I have too. Have places I would remiss in not visiting forthwith. Why, be thy leave? By thy leave? I can never understand Oriange's English. This was even with Shadowbringers. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours to be asked. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer the wander as the wind takes me. I like that he's a scion for now. But I could... Oh. Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you have me. He's such a good boy. Come, Vinder. Sharlayan awaits. Yeah, the quest accepted, I'm not a big fan of, but the quest completed. That is some good stuff. After you, my friend. I'm more than content to follow your lead. Oh. Oh wait, he follows me? He follows me! Oh my god. Look at him. Look at him go. He's following me. Look at, he's friends with me too. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. All set, then let's be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the Last Stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Oh my goodness. Oh, they can do conversations and everything? So like... Oh, that's so cool. Let's see, look at them go. So I had already taken care of all the Aetherites in this area off camera, so I did a little bit of exploring. Not too much though. Well, I wanted to give this a go. Now that I was gonna say, can I? Well, I guess as soon as the Balducian I was quartered on the Isle of Val, but I would gaze upon the Scholar's Wise feature every time I returned to the ship by the city. They're talking about this big statue behind us. Just so you guys know, I think I'm using it in the thumbnail for part 1. I'm not sure. Yeah, they're talking about this statue. I couldn't re-angle my camera in time. This path leading out to the sea is known as the Thaliac Stoa, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at its end. As you know, the Sharlayan people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Thaliac was chosen as our patron deity, it was more of a matter of pragmatism than belief, and an alignment of principles, as it were. We have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restricted as of that, say, the Ishgardians. Individual Sharlayans can and do worship the divinities of their choosing. Alright, let's go on ahead and head over to where we're supposed to be. I'm pretty sure this is where. Okay, and then if we were to walk out, okay, that's cool. I like that. And here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Sharlayan tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. And I think people are just going to randomly appear, come and go, such an MMO. How can I put this? The food is, it's bland, as encapsulated by our infamous Archon Loaf. The prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first and taste a distant second. There was one pupil in the studium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all of his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be. As the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost to fine dining in Sharlayan, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts, is an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the most impressive items on the menu, not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you were a typical Sharlayan when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha, but surely Sataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. You should all stop in when the time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall I press on? The stairs to the side of cafe will take us up to the Aetherite Plaza. But yeah, like I said, I've already, gone to the Aetherite Plaza and everything, so maybe I'll do. But I guess while we're walking around, I can actually show you guys something. The other class that I plan on playing a lot this expansion is Summoner, and I finally got the glamour done. I think it looks a little nice. I think it's been very difficult as, playing a Roganin to find, clothes that actually look like body proper and everything, in my opinion. So, it kind of, essentially, we're figuring it out as we go. An unusual shape, isn't it? The camera doesn't want to work with me. But if you guys have seen the intro cinematic, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have if you guys are coming here to watch this, you guys have seen the shape of this aetherite already. I assure you, however, it's a perfectly functioning aetherite. Remember to tune yourself before we move on. Now, being such a diligent tool guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Sharlayan stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Legion Aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially lost art. And so off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to Agora, Sharlayan's largest marketplace. I think it's so cool that we have a tour of everything. I forgot how to switch instances because I would go to instance 3. If you guys didn't know, they had actually made a formal announcement saying that for instance 3 is normally the one that's supposed to be the one for taking screenshots and everything. And I think, recordings should and probably could fall under that as well. So, maybe, things that we're learning as we're going along. But yeah, I'm actually so excited to play this. I wish I had sunk more time into the story already, but I've been just enjoying my time just even doing roulettes and stuff again. Yeah, see, I'm already level 82. I've literally just been doing roulettes. And I even did a little leveled up Summoner and got their job quests completed. And I'm leveling up Sage kind of off to the side. Welcome to Agora, where you can find wares made in Sharlayan as well as a wide selection of imported goods. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think the practice had thankfully died out for the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Etherite Plaza, follow the path up north, and then climb the stairs up to that imposing building at the very top. This grand structure before you is Rostra. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remains largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. The vista put me in the mind of my arrival in the first. Those who gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I can think of, the great city of Sharlayan. And bit by bit, those buildings grew into a town, a community, the Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors will object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. But look, I'll say, Sharlayan looks fantastic. It really shows you how much they've, like, the architecture and everything. I adore it. It's really cute. Or really gorgeous, really. How many times am I going to say really? Really, really, really. All right. Let's go on ahead and continue onwards towards Journey's End. But yeah, I've been enjoying my time back in the game again. I think that the break that I took towards the end of 5.3 was definitely needed. We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Archon Nyunkrep, I don't know, built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as the residential district for most important officials and the oldest Sharlayan families. Excuse me? You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. The estate belongs to our friends from House Levillere. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Sharlayan tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to Balducian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Let me think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, and then follow the path below the Etherite Plaza. Correct. After you, Vendor. But yeah, I think that this might be my new favorite kind of, city-state type deal. I think that, honestly, it's really relaxing, all things considered. I love the music. The sights are fantastic, and I don't know. I think a lot of times whenever we use like games and MMOs as a way of, escaping, it's nice to find a place where you can actually find some quiet reprieve. So I'm happy. But maybe I should pay attention to where we're going. Oh, okay, I see. I couldn't see the spot right under the Etherite. Yeah, in some cases I don't mind walking to different places, but over time we may, cut stuff out to get that good old progression going. Just kind of vibing, making our, different decisions. As the joyous look on Ra's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Balducian Annex. If you wish to continue up the hill, you'll find the doorsteps of Phenomenon. But I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you then. I'm back, and I brought Vendor and Raha with me. Ah, you were right about the ship then. Hello, Graha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Vendor. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. Ojika Sunjika. I think I said that right. Allow me to introduce Ojika Sunjika, the mission officer for the students of Balducian. He oversees day-to-day business of the Annex. You recall meeting his cousin, Ejika? Oh yes, Eureka. I've read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's become of that isle. Do take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. That's referring to Stormblood reference. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isles of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had the occasion to visit Sharlayan. whether to make use of the city's resources facilities, attend conferences, or produce supplies from distant shores. Procure. And the annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engage in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the Isle itself, vanished, the annex has served as our base of operations. And yet it feels so empty, with so many lost to us. Our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we will see the students rise again. But first, we must make sure that the teleophery fall. Through the door on the left is the main hall, where we can discuss our operation moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I've prepared private quarters for you in the Andron, so please feel free to make yourself at home. Ah, the nap rooms, perfect for an afternoon doze. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed, far more than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. Well, simply, we were often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys abroad that we'd sleep in the Andron just to steal a few winks. And thus, they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the morning. Say the word, I'll be happy to show you the chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. This is nice. I think this, like, a lot of what they've done so far. Hello, everybody. I'm guessing it is probably cutscene time. Let's head into the main hall, everyone. Okay, this area is instance. It would be so awkward if there were like so many people here. But refresh and alert. Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us. It's so hard to tell if it's a cutscene that I'll be voicing or if it's a cutscene that will be voiced.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Urianger. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroi's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galuf was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous.
I wonder
Even
what's
more
going
concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, he had simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
I wonder if they're trying to relocate.
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Balducian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over, mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nidana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal.
So there are towers over in even Thavnair as well.
In response to this threat, the satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. 'Tis possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Me! I think.
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice.
Easy.
But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnairian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
I wish I could split into two people. You know what? But I'll give it a go.
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned.
All right.
As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
So I think Graha's staying here?
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field.
I was right about one. Because I know that Urianger and Thancred are probably headed to
Alice and I
Zambian.
would also like to help, if you would have us.
Oh, so we're just sending half the squad to
Anything
Sharlayan?
to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
Of course! The more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavnair.
Oh, and Stidian. Sorry, I forgot about him.
Thoughts? Objections?
He doesn't care.
I passed through Thavnair on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nidana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Really hope so. All right, old Sharlayan, new to you. And honestly, I think this is actually a good place to go ahead and end things off. So, I wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for watching today's episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Next time, I believe that we are going to be making a decision on whether or not we should be following Thancred or if we should be following Kryl. I already have an idea of what I want to do. So, I'll go ahead and see you guys all in the next one. Do you mind if I browse these bookshelves for a little bit? There might be some hidden gems I have to read. Only a moment? How optimistic. Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Perhaps I'll return here later then. For I'll have something unique to say? Okay. These little open-air bookstalls are so uniquely Sharlayan. I always thought they'd a common sight until I visited other nations. These little decorative features are typical of Sharlayan architecture. Aside from the research wing, our headquarters on the Isles of Val were rather simple and rustic by comparison. This is the Nymphania, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Sharlayans, water represents more than a life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the great flood which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of knowledge which flows from Baliak's divine Ewer. This is the reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and a propensity for utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture.